finish his course at the school, receive a church, and pursue with moderate success his task of holding a parish up to certain ideals. The death of the uncle who was paying his way, following his bankruptcy, brought Wilson to a halt from even this slow pace. At first he had been stunned by this sudden order of fate. His house-bleached fellows had gathered around in the small, whitewashed room where he had had so many tough struggles with Greek roots and his Hebrew grammar. They offered him sympathy and such slight aid as was theirs. Minor scholarships and certain drudging jobs had been open to him, the opportunity to shoulder his way to the goal of what he had thought his manifest destiny. But that night, after they had gone, he locked the door, threw wide his window, and wandered among the stars. There was something in the unpathed purple between the spear points which called to him. He breathed a fresher air and thrilled to keener dreams. Strange faces came to him, smiling at him, speaking dumbly to him, stirring unknown depths within him. He was left breathless, straining towards them. The day after the school term closed, he had packed his extension valise, bade good-bye to his pitying classmates, and taken the train to Boston. He had only an indefinite object in his mind. He had once met a friend of his uncle's who was in the publishing business, and he determined to seek him on the chance of securing through him work of some sort. He learned that the man had sold out and moved to the West. Then followed a week of hopeless search for work until his small hoard had dwindled away to nothing. Today he found himself without a cent. He had answered the last advertisement just as the 1,000 windows sprang to renewed life. It was a position as shipping clerk in a large department store. After waiting an hour to see the manager, a double-chinned ghoul with the eyes of a pig, he had been dismissed with a glance. "Thank you," said Wilson. "For what?" growled the man. "For closing this door," answered Wilson, with a smile. The fellow shifted the cigar stub which he gripped with yellow teeth between loose lips. "What do you mean?" "Oh, you wouldn't understand. Not in 1,000 years. Good day." The store was dry and warm. He had wandered about it gazing at the pretty colored garments, entranced by the life and movement about him, until the big iron gates were closed. Then he went out upon the thoroughfare, glad to brush shoulders with the home-goers, glad to feel one with them in the brilliant pageant of the living. And always he searched for the face he had met twice that day. The lights glowed mellow in the mist and struck out shimmering golden bars on the asphalt. The song of shuffling feet and the accompaniment of the clattering hansoms rang excitedly in his ears. He felt that he was touching the points of 1,000 quick romances. The flash of a smile, a quick step, were enough to make him press on eagerly in the possibility that it was here, perhaps, the loose end of his own life was to be taken up. As the crowd thinned away and he became more conspicuous to the prowling eyes which seemed to challenge him, he took a path across the public gardens, and so reached the broader sweep of the avenue, where the comfortable stone houses snuggled shoulder to shoulder. The lower windows were lighted behind drawn shades. Against the stubborn stone angles, the light shone out with appealing warmth. Every window was like an invitation. Occasionally a door opened, emitting a path of yellow light to the dripping walk, framing for a second a man or a woman, sometimes a man and a woman. When they vanished, the dark always seemed to settle down upon him more stubbornly. Then, as the clock boomed 10, he saw her again.